Welcome, and welcome back to the Darwin incident. Where we left off last time, we had just witnessed a vegan terrorist attack. The Animal Liberation Alliance, a vegan terrorist group, had just carried out a terrorist attack in New York City by blowing up a crowded steakhouse. And where we pick up, the ALA is celebrating this attack, right? We're looking at this TV screen. We're in the ALA hideout. They seem to be in this sort of run-down mansion-looking building, right? And they're over there hype as shit, right? They're like, oh yeah, we're already trending on Twitter, talking about meat eaters beware, pause. But you know, they're over there celebrating the ruckus that they caused, the terror that they caused. They're drinking, and one of the ALA dudes, he's like, damn, like, good job, gang, but it looks like there was a little kid. It looks like we killed a kid. They did kill a kid. If you remember in the last episode, there was a little girl who was in the steakhouse who got smoked due to their terrorist attack. But after this one ALA member sort of brings up the fact that they killed a kid, the rest of the dudes kind of turn around like, okay, and the one dude is like, nah, I mean, like, you know, I'm not switching up on the gang or nothing, but you know what I'm saying, guys? Killing kids is crazy. This one dude, right, this older looking dude, he comes up to him and he's like, look, this is our opening statement. We're declaring war. Collateral damage is inevitable. And the other guy's like, right, I get that, right? But a kid, bro, a kid? And the dude, he kind of presses up on him, right? Long nose ass. He's like, all right, tell me this then. What about all those little animals that must have gotten caught in the blast? And it's like, first of all, what little animals are you talking about, bruh? What animals would be caught in a restaurant blast? Ratatouille in them, bruh? Like, come on, bro. But he's like, if you're so worried about the lives that had to be sacrificed for the cause, why are you only focused on human lives? Why are you not focused on animal lives? I don't think you're a real vegan like that. He's basically testing this dude's vegan. The one dude, he's like, you know what I mean? He's getting his vegan tested. And the other dude, he starts going on a tangent, low-key trying to hype up the group. He's like, the ones who really deserve our pity are all those animals who were strung up and skinned alive, all the animals who they were eating in there, who were born just to be murdered. He's like, we are the warriors who have relinquished our human privileges to stand up for the rights of animals. The dude who had some trepidation, the dude who was worried about the kid, he's not worried about this kid no more. He's moved to tears thinking about goddamn pygmy marmosets or whatever animals they're trying to save. And you know, all the vegans, they're like, hurrah, you know what I mean? They're getting hype as shit, right? We see this black dude come up, right? He's like calling the dude and he beckons him over. Now this African-American fellow, right? He seems to be some sort of coordinator, some sort of higher up within this vegan terrorist group, right? He seems to be doing a lot of logistical stuff. So he's talking to the dude. He's like, yeah, so I've posted all on social media talking about we were the ones who did the terrorist attack. We're causing a nice ruckus. We're making a good statement. And the other dude, he's like, maybe we'll finally get those armchair activists, those fake vegans, to really sit up and take action, to really become part of the cause. The black dude, he turns around. He's like, yeah, damn right. The reborn ALA is going to be on the front lines. Like, these dudes really think that they're out here about to start a whole revolution, right? But he pulls out his phone and he points to the screen. He's like, our next target is this little guy. We get a closer look at what's on his screen and we see Charlie, you know, our boy Charlie, the human Z. The white dude, he's like, Charlie? And the black guy, he's like, that's right. We get a closer look at these two dudes' faces, right? And in their own respective ways, both of these dudes are out here looking creepy as hell, bro. But the black guy, he's like, we gotta get a hold of Charlie somehow. For Charlie is the ALA's key, right? He is the key to the ALA being successful in this war. I don't know what exactly he's planning with the boy Charlie, but it's gotta be something crazy. But we cut into the classroom, right? There's a bunch of whispering going on. Everyone's looking at Charlie, right? News about the attack has basically spread from up to New York where it started, down to Missouri where this school is. Y'all know how fast social media works, bro, but we get a look, right? It's trending on Twitter like they were saying in the ALA. We get a look at the video that the ALA posted and it's like this corny ass shit, this 2012 anonymous ass shit, but they're like, this is a message to all meat eaters, pause, and anyone who exploits animals. They're trying to be scary, but they kind of look goofy right now, I'm not gonna lie. They're like, hear the roar of all animals tyrannized by humanity. It's like, all right, bro, there's like 35 of you, bro. When they call in the National Guard on your ass and they put 46 rounds through your whole squad, then what? But you know what? I'm gonna let it slide, bro. I'm gonna let the government handle that. Basically, news of this terror attack is spreading, and it's spreading fast. We cut to Charlie's house, right? Where Charlie's pops, he's on the phone with Charlie's mom, and the mom is like, yo, like, do you see what's going on TV right now? And the dad's like, you know what? I'm gonna just go pick up Charlie right now. Like, you know, he needs to be in a safe place right now. We cut back to the classroom, right? And this is how I know, bruh. This is how I know that Lucy is a freakazoid, bruh. We started off with Lucy blushing over Charlie in the last episode. That was weird. But look at the sweater she's wearing, bro. Wearing the Hub sweater to school is crazy, bro. Wearing the Hub hoodie in school is heat. That's gotta be an expulsion. How is that dress code? But everyone's in the classroom talking about Charlie, talking about the terrorist attack. You know, they're kind of wondering like, yo, Charlie, he's a vegan, he's the human Z, like, is he linked with the terrorists? And Lucy, for some reason, hearing this, she just decides to up and leave. Like, the teacher's like, Lucy, where are you going? And she's just walking away. But as she's walking away, she looks out the window and she sees Charlie getting escorted out of the school building by his dad. And we get a look at her face, and it looks like she feels pretty bad for Charlie. We get a closer look at the dad and Charlie. The dad is still on the phone with the mom. He's like, yeah, Charlie's fine. I'm just gonna take him home for now. You know what I mean? We just gonna relax. But waiting there for the two of them is the sheriff, right? He's like, hey, are you Professor Gilbert Stein? And the dude is like, yeah. And the sheriff is like, why don't you two come along with us for a second? You know, come down to the station with us. We have some questions we'd like to ask you. They're already basically being accused or at least suspected of having some sort of ties with the terrorism incident that just occurred. We cut to later that night, right? It is evening time going into nighttime, probably about 8-9 p.m. And the mom is mad as hell, bro. The mom kind of bad now that I really look at her. I don't know why I didn't peep that last episode, but the mom is mad as hell, bro. She's like, yo, the cops just showed up at the school. Like, they're treating Charlie like he's a terrorist and he don't have nothing to do with this. This is crazy. And then when I told them I'm a lawyer, they laughed in my face. Like, sexism, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but they're watching the news, right? They're still talking about the terrorist attack. They're talking about the bombings. They're talking about the vegan terrorism. And the mom is just like, Bert, cut that shit off, bro. Like, she's not trying to hear it right now. Bert, he turns off the TV. He's like, my fault. He's like, but where's Charlie though? And the mom's like, I put him to bed. He was burnt out from all the questioning. And she just sits down stressed as hell, right? She just, you know what I mean? You could tell just by the way she's looking that it's stressful for her. The dad is like, you know, he's trying to comfort his wife. He's like, hey, are you okay? And the mom's like, it's just, we just gotten him started at school and now we're going through all this. And the dad, he's quiet for a second, but eventually he's like, you know what? I think we should take Charlie out of school. And the mom's like, you know, and the mom's like, wait. Like, let's not be hasty. You remember how hype and how excited she was about Charlie, even just having one day at school, you know, getting himself out there and being able to interact with the rest of humanity. But, you know, Bert, he's scrolling through his phone and he's like, just think about it, Hannah. Charlie was rescued by the ALA. He's a vegan. He just has too many ties to all this that people might blame him. He's in a dangerous position even though he didn't do anything. We get like a small look at the type of stuff people are saying about vegans online now, and they're basically doing that thing where, you know what I mean, if one bad person from a group does something, they start to like conflate it with the whole group. There's people on Twitter talking about, man, fuck vegans, get the fuck out of America, blah blah blah. And I don't know, just reading this, and it comes up at multiple points in this manga, but I think I'll just bring it up here. I'm always pretty impressed by how poignant and accurate and just how well this manga captures the zeitgeist of like American culture and politics and political discussion. You don't usually see that in manga, right? I don't know if the author, I might have to look into it. I don't know if the author is American himself or has had time in America or has some sort of exposure with America to the point where they can kind of nail it this accurately. But I just find it interesting that a manga is embodying the American political climate, the modern American political climate, so tactfully. But Bert, he's like, all right, look, you know what? We'll ask Charlie in the morning, right? We'll see how he feels about going to school. Honestly, he probably doesn't want to go because, and this is Bert talking, he's like, honestly, he probably doesn't want to go. He wasn't even that hype about school in the first place. In a small town like this, word will have already spread, right? Everyone will already know he's questioned by the police, including his classmates. I guess in like a small town, things like that spread pretty quickly. And he's like, worst case scenario, it could be a repeat of 10 years ago. And upon hearing this, Hannah's like, you know what I mean? She's shocked. Her voice starts shaking. We don't know what happened 10 years ago yet, but whatever it is has shaken Hannah. Bert, he calms his wife down, right? Gives her a hug. W husband, W father. He's like, Charlie's the most important thing right now. I'll talk to him about it tomorrow. And then he turns around, right? And there goes Charlie, right? He's waiting at the staircase, and, you know, the dad's like, Charlie. They start trying to act like everything's okay, right? And the mom's like, oh, did you have a bad dream? Are you hungry? Let me make something for dinner. Kind of trying to like play off the weight and the severity of the situation. But Charlie, he's just like, I guess he heard them upstairs. He's like, I want to stay. I want to stay in school. And, the parents, they're like, oh, okay then. Well, that's settled. And, Charlie just kind of makes his way back upstairs really quickly. And Bert and Hannah are just looking at each other like, well, I guess we keeping Charlie in school. We cut to the next day at school, right? And in the school parking lot rather, we see the two ALA terrorists, the black dude and the white dude, like those two secret agents from Johnny Test, bro, Mr. Black and y'all know about Johnny Test, it's okay. We see the two ALA agents who, were talking about Charlie the other day, and they're both kind of watching Charlie, right? The black dude, he's like, that's him right there, right? To think that's him, to think that's the baby that was inside the chimp's belly. I can't believe it. For the ALA, for the Animal Liberation Alliance, the vegan terrorists, whatever you want to call them, Charlie is like a figurehead, right? He's almost like a messiah-esque figure in a way. They treat him in this sort of elevated manner where, because they discovered him, or because they discovered the mother chimp that was giving birth to him, they kind of feel like he's an extension of them in a way. But the white dude, he's like, look, I know how hype you are to see Charlie, but you know what I mean? We can't really engage with him just yet. There's cops all over the place. And the black dude, he's like, yeah, you're right. But it's cool. I'm patient. I can wait. And the white dude, he looks at him. He's like, so do you think we'll be able to get Charlie on our side? And the black dude kind of just looks at him with this somewhat ominous looking glare. And he's like, look, we'll make it so that bro doesn't have a choice. I don't know what they plan on doing to my boy Charlie, but like, shit, I guess we'll see. We cut, we're into the hallway now, and there's a whole bunch of talking going on, you know what I mean? Charlie is the center of attention, more than usual. We cut to the cafeteria, and here we go. We have the two hating ass niggas. They're over there, talking shit about Charlie, like humans don't move like that. They're just over here spreading rumors about Charlie. And, hater number 2, he's like, I told you, didn't I? He could turn on us at any moment. Like, he's a creature made in a lab. That's unnatural, bro. Like, he might not have the full range of humanity. The blonde girl pulls up, right? The one who was so hyped to get a selfie with Charlie the other day. She's like, yesterday on TV, there was a picture of a girl who died. The girl who died in the bombing, and her mom couldn't stop crying. And then, the girl, I guess it is a pretty emotional moment. The girl starts crying. She's like, how could they do something like that? Charlie just trying to live life, just trying to vibe. He's completely uninvolved with the terrorists. He sits down at the table to go get food, to go eat his food. Everyone gets up from the table like Charlie's fitting a snap on them or something. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, put some respect on my boy Charlie's name. Y'all gonna have to treat him with a bit more respect. How are y'all treating him like he is the terrorist, bro? That's not cool. But Charlie, he seems genuinely unfazed, which I do kind of have questions about the way Charlie's emotions work, because, and I brought it up a little bit in the last video, I don't know if it's just because his face doesn't show his emotions, but he just seems unfazed by everything that goes on to him, and a lot goes on to him. So, it just leaves me confused about how Charlie is feeling at any given moment. But Charlie is over there eating, and hater number 2, what was bro's name? Ozzy comes up. He's like, hey, Charlie, he looks up at Ozzy, super seeing your ass. He's like, what? And Ozzy's like, you're just gonna sit there eating that vegan meal like nothing happened? So what's your take then, What do you think about the vegan terrorist attack in New York? Charlie, you know what I mean? He's just eating his food. He's like, my take? And, the girl, Lucy, comes up. She's like, Ozzy, like, what are you doing, bro? Leave bro alone. Like, you've got no right to. And the other dude, hater number 2, the one who was holding back Ozzy in the last chapter, the last episode, he pulls up. He's like, no. He's allowed to ask his question. You know what I mean? He no longer wants to just, skirt on the sideline and stay away from Charlie. He's actively participating in, Ozzy's hater activities. So hater number 2, he's talking to Charlie now, right? He's like, vegans like you killed a child because of their beliefs. 11 people died, which I'm not gonna lie is a crazy kill count for a steakhouse attack. But he's like, plus the ALA are the ones who saved you, aren't they? So like, you have to have some sort of opinion about this whole situation going on. And Charlie, he's like, vegans like me, you know what I mean? He's kind of thinking about, I guess, the question that's being posed of him. And Lucy, she comes to Charlie's defense. She's like, so what if Charlie's vegan? You're a human, right? Those terrorists were human. I'm not calling you a terrorist just because you're a human. And Lucy, she looks at Charlie. She's like, come on, Charlie, like, let's get out of here. Ignore these clowns, basically. Let's go to a place where we can eat in peace. And Ozzy, big ass, he's like, what? So you're just going to run away? Tell us what's so right about being a vegan. It's got to be pretty great if it's worth killing a kid for. Like, we all want to hear it. Hater number 2, right? He looked like he got something to say. All of a sudden, bro wants to speak his mind, talking about me personally. I think the terrorist attack came from pandering too much to minorities. Like, dog, what are you talking about, bro? And this is what I be talking about when I say like this manga has a surprisingly accurate and like spot on depiction of the current American political discourse climate. There's always going to be a nigga blaming everything on minorities for no reason whatsoever. But bro is going on. He's like, you know what I mean? We're so afraid of offending other religious groups. We can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. Like, all right, bro, I know this nigga be on 4chan and Twitter, bro, just trolling all day, bro. But yeah, he's over here talking about nothing, hyping up the crowd, basically getting everyone to turn on Charlie by bringing up minorities, which again doesn't really make any sense. But Charlie eventually he cuts off all the naysayers. He's like, you know what, if you don't want to be vegan, you don't have to be vegan. And you know, all the haters, they're kind of like, what? Charlie, he goes to pick up his apple off the ground and he's like, you said I was vegan like those terrorists, right? But look, bro, veganism, that just happens to be the lifestyle I've lived for as long as I've known, and I just can't see any reason to change it. That's all. And you know, so how about you don't worry about me and I don't worry about you. You can eat whatever you want. Birds, cows, pigs, fish, shit, human beings. Now, this is the second time, bro. I understand where Charlie's trying to come from, but this is the second time where he just randomly said some out-of-pocket shit when he was trying to make his point. Second time in the lunchroom, too, and Lucy, even she knows this nigga's out of pocket. She's like, oh, like, fuck. Oh, what is this nigga talking about? The boy Ozzy, he literally says in verbatim, you know, normally I change these characters' dialogue up just to match my own, but he literally says, or at least the translation that I'm reading, Ozzy says, you hear that? He's tripping. And he looks at Charlie, he's like, humans don't eat other humans, all loud and shit. And Charlie's like, all right, then let me ask you this. Why is it that only humans you can't kill and eat? Charlie keeps going. He keeps making his point. He's like, if it's because you don't want to kill or cause any pain, then you'd have to include all sentient creatures with nervous systems. He's throwing this apple into his mouth, big mouth ass, and he literally slurps to the apple core in one bite, strong jaw ass. But he's like, or is there some other reason? Is there some reason that I'm not aware of that we have to give humans special treatment? Old goddamn Dalton over here, or whatever bro's name is, 4chan bro over here, he's like, that's ridiculous. Humans are special. We're different from other animals. And Charlie's like, how so? And 4chan, he's like, well, he doesn't have an answer. And you know, Ozzy, he's like, bro, don't even bother. He's half monkey. You're not going to get through to him. Come on, let's get out of here. Everyone kind of walks away, kind of chattering, talking their shit about Charlie. And Lucy, you know, just trying to look out for her man. She's like, Charlie, I think it might be better to just avoid the cafeteria for a while. How about we go someplace else to eat? The two of them turn around to go eat somewhere else like Lucy suggested, but before they do, some dude comes up to Charlie, right? Some dude, he's like, hey, that was a masterclass in irony, bro. Lucy turns around, she's like, bro, who the hell are you? And he's like, don't even worry about that. My name's Gary. I'm a sympathizer. And he's like, oh, better keep that one quiet. See ya. And Lucy's like, what the fuck do you know this nigga? And Charlie's like, hell nah. But you know, we get a look at Gary, and I know I said I thought Charlie would be a school threat, but Charlie low-key be chilling, bro. It's the nigga Gary that we gotta worry about, bro. He's over there whispering to himself, talk about no one in this backwater town understands that those guys are on the right side of history. And then we see his goddamn phone wallpaper and it's the Animal Liberation Alliance on his shit. Like, oh my god, bro. Niggas, watch out for Gary, bro. Lucy, she takes Charlie to like her secret little hiding place, hideout. She's like, yeah, you know, this is a nice place, right? She basically took them to this little like place where they can eat in the woods alone. It's off school property, but I guess it's close enough that they could walk there and eat their lunch and walk back all within the time that they have to, you know, all within their lunch block, their lunch break. Lucy, she's like, you know, Charlie, I genuinely think, you know, you and your parents should just move to the city. Like, even after things settle down from that terrorist attack, people are never going to accept you here. They'll never be open enough and open-minded enough to accept you in this backwater Midwestern town. And she's like, honestly, I'm going to leave here one day too. Like, this place sucks, bro. Everyone here is just, it's an echo chamber. It's an ant colony. And she looks back at Charlie. She's like, you have to be fed up with this shit too, right? And Charlie, he just kind of sits down next to her. She's sitting on like a tree stump or a tree branch. And Charlie's like, ant colony, huh? Conveniently enough, there's a whole ant colony on the ground in front of them. So Charlie can illustrate his point. But he basically just makes the point that even within an ant colony, every ant is different, right? Every ant is unique in their own way. And so even if you say, you know, everyone here acts the same, in Charlie's eyes, you know, everyone here is acting different. He sees the intricacies in every person's behavior. He explains to Lucy, he's like, up until now, I've barely ever even been out of the crib. So like, you know what I mean? I really never got to interact with anybody except for my mom and my dad. And so seeing all of you interact, it's interesting to me, you know? Like when you observe human beings up close, it's actually very fascinating. You all are very fascinating creatures. And he basically goes on to say, and this kind of gives us exposition into why Charlie didn't want to leave school after the terrorist attack. He's just had so many new and novel experiences that if he were to have to like hole himself up back at home again, you know, get homeschooled again, you know, he'd just think it would be boring. Lucy hears this, right? And she starts laughing. She's like, ha 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 ha. And she's like, you know what? Like, Charlie, you're really cool. Like, you're awesome, bro. And then she's like, oh yeah, like you got WhatsApp? Like, I don't know why, bro, but just this panel of someone asking this goddamn monkey man if he has WhatsApp is crazy to me. But she's like, yeah, do you got WhatsApp? Like, can I get your number? And Charlie, he's just like, Lucy, you're super weird. And I can't even say Charlie's wrong, but I don't know if Monkey Man is the one to talk about weird right now. We then cut to later in the day, right? Charlie's mom is driving him home, and, you know, Charlie's looking out the back window. The cops are following them on their way home, and the mom, she's mad as hell, right? But she's like, you know what, Charlie, just ignore them. You know what I mean? It's gonna be all right. We cut into the cop's car, and the cop who's driving, he's like a younger cop. He's like, yo, are you sure it's cool that we're kind of tailing these people like this? Like, I don't know, this seems like harassment. And the older cop, the sheriff, the veteran cop, he's like, look, it doesn't matter if they don't like us. It's a part of the job. Now shut up and drive. And the younger cop, he's like, yeah, I got you. But you know what I mean? I just don't feel like this family right here seems like the type of family to be mixed up and involved in a terrorist plot. He's kind of talking, you know, reminiscing on when like Charlie was first being revealed to the media, how much like shit they had on him. Like as far as paraphernalia is concerned, how much like toys and video games and all sorts of stuff. I guess they made a whole bunch of Charlie merch. That's probably how the family was able to afford that nice ass ranch, bro. Niggas out there playing Charlie 2 Return to the Jungle on goddamn PS3. But the cop, right, when he sees his subordinate kind of talking about Charlie in a positive way, he kind of looks angry, right? He looks almost disgusted with him. The younger cop, he's like, what's going on? And the older cop, he's like, you clearly don't know about this Charlie dude, like the truth about this Charlie dude. And the younger cop, he's like, no, I mean, I don't. Like, what is it? And the older cop, he's like, look, Sonny, what I'm about to tell you did not happen, okay? Basically telling the dude, the younger cop, to like, yo, what you're about to hear, you keep this shit under wraps, all right? The older cop basically goes on to explain that he was once a part of a group of cops that were in charge of escorting Charlie when he was younger, right? I guess they were having like a Charlie parade or something, and all these cops, like 1,000 cops, had to escort Charlie from place to place, just, you know, I guess because back in the day, Charlie was like #1 celebrity, right? He was a whole human Z before humanity even knew what that was. And he basically goes on to explain that one day he was on the job, right? They were escorting Charlie, and suddenly they get an alarm, right? So they rush into the building, and they just see a young Charlie. He's in a swimming pool, and he has beaten the dog shit out of 7 cops, right? They're on the ground, laid out, damn near looking dead, and Charlie is just standing there looking absolutely insane. I'm not gonna lie, this gives us like a look at another side of Charlie. Now, granted, we don't know what happened to push Charlie to this situation, but shit, it had to be something crazy. The younger cop, he hears this and he's like, golly, bro, like this actually happened? And the older cop, he's like, yeah, there were no fatalities, but all 7 of them got put out of commission, bro. They had to leave the force. One of them was my homie. And, you know, the younger cop, he's like, this is crazy. Why was this never made public? And the older cop, he's like, I don't know, bro. They struck it from the record, and you know what I mean? After that, the Human Z stopped making media appearances. The cop then goes on to explain that he thinks it might have had something to do with the lawyer lady, right? He thinks that Hannah, Charlie's mom, who is a lawyer, in case you've forgotten, might have had something to do with covering up the whole Charlie beating the dog shit out of 7 cops situation. But the older cop, he goes on to say that, look, I don't know if Charlie is connected with these terrorists or not. I don't have any proof in either direction, but all I know is that that creature is dangerous, and that thing should not be allowed to exist in this world. And I mean, shit, bro, I'm not gonna say I agree with him, because I mean, I feel like if humanity created a Human Z, we kind of have to take care of it now. Like, we kind of did that to ourselves. But if I saw my coworkers get dogged out by Charlie, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm finna be part of the anti-Charlie party too, bro, and that's just how it is. But then again, bro, I have a feeling that I feel like there's some information being omitted, because Charlie don't seem like the type to just wild out on a bunch of cops for no reason. I'm sure they were probably harassing him in some regard or something like that, but we don't know yet. And so what can we really say, you know?